And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Some people don't like Pictionary because they can't draw. Some people don't like Pictionary because they don't like watching people who can't draw. Some people don't like games like gestures where you're trying to mime things because they don't like to act. Well, Pick and Choose kind of has a way around that. Pick and Choose lets you mold out of clay or draw or mime or hum or use wire, or you give one-word clues or two-word clues or read a trivia question. Really, you're kind of at your own comfort level, although they'll give you different points if you go outside your comfort level. And so this is a game that kind of builds on the Cranium style, or let's try to see how much of a party game we can fit in one box. Does it work? Let's see. To play Pick and Choose, everyone is split into two teams, and then one person goes first, and you go around, and on a person's turn, they're going to put 5 cards in front of them like this. A timer is included with the game, and that timer is going to be flipped. And then that person who's considered the performer is going to take the first card, and they're going to look at it and try to get everyone to guess the word at the top of that card. And then if they do that correctly, they'll go to the next card, to the next card, to the next card, and so on. Now, if you look at these cards, let's take a closer look at this one here in the middle. So here's Darth Vader, for example. You have a way to determine how you're going to give this clue to somebody else. You can draw the clue. So if that happens, you're simply going to take a pad of paper that's included with the game, and the game also comes with some small pencils, and you'll simply draw the clue like Pictionary style and everybody else. So you would have to draw Darth Vader. And if you do that correctly, you see you get 40 points, but you get 110 points for Darth Vader if you take the little thing of clay that comes with the game, and it's basically very similar to Play-Doh, and you make Darth Vader's head out of Play-Doh. You can see that you can also mime Darth Vader, and basically that just means you get up and pantomime and with a silently gesture, and people have to figure out who Darth Vader is. Or you can hum. You can hum any music you want with your mouth closed. So that would be pretty easy. Or you can see the next one there is wire. The game comes with some wires like this that basically you can manipulate these wires any way you want and make sculptures out of them. I'm going to guess that, or I'm telling you for sure, wires are harder than clay usually, although sometimes they're a little bit easier. Clown, you can see underneath this one. Clown, you can only make facial movements. You can't move your whole body, and you can make sound effects, but that's it. You're basically just using your face. One word, you can give one-word clue. 2 words, you can give 2-word clue. Or trivia, you can say, "I am your father" as a quote from what famous science fiction movie character, which is basically giving it away. As you can see, that's only worth 20 points. And you can see, for example, here under love and cage, that the points are different totals for the different kinds of things. For some, for love, it's not too hard to get people to figure that out, while cage might be harder, especially when you're only using your face. And so you have different point amounts that you can do. Now, you could try to get as many of these cards as you can within the timer limit, which is still going, so I might have got all 5. But if you want to, if you're falling behind, you can basically spin this spinner here. So you spin the spinner, and if it lands on minus 100 points, well then your team just lost 100 points. Otherwise, whatever it lands on, you have to do that for all 5 cards. So if it lands here and I say, oh, mime, I have to mime all 5 cards, but I'll get double points for each one. So that spinner is there. At the end of a timer, if you run out of time, your opposing team can try to steal the points of the cards which were not guessed, so they're watching too at the same time, so they're involved. And after everybody has a chance to go and be the person, and you're going to go 4 rounds around the table, Whoever has the most points is the winner. There's a very large stack of cards that comes with the game, so there's plenty of questions involved. And the game, like I said, also comes with the wire, comes with clay, comes with the timer, comes with a pencil and a pad, and the spinner. It's like a whole bunch of party games rolled into one. Pick and Choose is going to succeed on several levels. It's going to succeed because of what I said at the very beginning of the review, where if I'm like, oh, I don't want to do any of that, you can just read a trivia question. So in that aspect, it does pretty well. It doesn't really break any bounds of originality, although molding with the wires is something new. The whole clown, where you're just using your facial expressions, that's an interesting aspect of the game, and so I like those. The idea of different points works well. So as a game, it works. It's easy to play. There's not a whole lot of, oh, I don't know what to do next, because there's a lot of action going back and forth, and probably you will see everything done at some point or other. People will say, oh, the points for clown are so much that I've got to try it, while the trivia questions are going to happen. And there's a lot of cards in here, so replayability is high. I really can see this one doing quite well in the mass market, or the people who like Cranium, I would imagine that this is something that they would like also. Or if you like Pictionary, you like all those games that this is kind of amalgamation of, you're going to like this because it includes whatever you like. There's a few problems with it. The spinner is where you can spin and do what it says. You can kind of get messed over on that spin, and then you're kind of stuck. I think it just seems like an odd mechanic. My co-host pointed this out to me, and after looking at it, I was like, man, you know, you're right. I can't figure out how that spin can be fixed, because it sounds exciting, get double points. But if you're getting double 20 points when you could have just went for 80 points, that's not so exciting, and then you're stuck on all 5 words. So maybe the spinner, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a fix for that. As for me, I find this one entertaining. It's not bad. It's good. It's not great. There's many party games I prefer to play over this, but I do see this one having the uniqueness of being able to fit in so many situations, because if you're with a bunch of people and someone there is just horrible at, you know, gestures, you can say, well, you can draw. Oh man, someone says, I cannot draw. You put a pencil in my hand and I ruined the paper. Well, then you can mold out of clay, or you can mold out of wires, or you can at least read the trivia question. So it works well. It's going to work well in situations where you have grandma playing with little Billy. So, you know, different age groups, because different people can do different things. So I think it's going to work well for that. Pick and choose.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find the latest board game news at Dicetowernews.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Fun Again Games, the world's best game source. Fun Again Games has over 5,000 games available. Check them out at funagain.com.